Welcome back, everyone. For today's video, we're talking about how to find brilliant moves on chess.com. If you're not playing on chess.com, it's fine. It can be only chess, over the board. These are going to be hard to see moves. And I have played over 130 brilliant moves on chess.com. I have saved a few of them. So I know the thought process, I know what I was thinking at the time. And okay, let's start with this one. So one of the first things to find a brilliant move is temporarily hanging a piece to get an advantage, right? So in this game I'm playing white. I played rook c6, which is an inaccuracy according to the engine. And now, but my point is this cannot happen because the queen will be hanging. Okay, so they play f6, challenging my bishop and the pawn and getting out of this problem, right? So the instinct will be, okay, let's just go back and accept defeat because my bishop is hanging. Wait, I don't have to do that. I can just take the pawn, and now they cannot take with the bishop because now this pawn is hanging. So, and now you get into more troubles with black. They will have to take back with the knight. So they take back with the knight, and now my rook is hanging, so I go back. Rook c1, one of the best moves in the position. But the purpose now is, okay, this knight was doing a perfect job preventing me to getting an outpost. So now I can get this outpost and I am much better with white. I have 2.3 of advantage. So yeah, you can ignore that you are going to lose a piece if you can get a major. This one will have a lot of control in the center. In this one again, I'm playing white, and I was kind of afraid of this move, but I took a fair amount of time thinking about how can I solve this problem, because they just play knight e3. My queen and my rook are hanging. So, and I am also a little bit concerned about this bishop. So one of the best moves was actually bishop e2. But if I move my queen somewhere, then this bishop might be coming, although this knight is covering this square. The queen might have something here. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about what to do. So I play rook e1, which according to the computer is not even a brilliant move. It's great. I think they changed their mind. The computer changed their mind about this brilliant move. But now, okay, they can take my queen, and I take their queen. And I should have a slight advantage because these pawns are way too advanced. And I have a lot of influence with this rook. My other knight is coming in. And yeah, I ended up winning this game. So yeah, here you can ignore that one of your pieces is hanging, right? I have a lot of pressure on these two pieces, but I can ignore that and now take this queen, even with check. So it wasn't even that difficult to see. Alright, so this is one of my favorite forms of brilliant moves because sometimes it's not super clear what you're supposed to do. But if you're weakening the defenses around the king, then it should be intuitively more obvious, right? Okay, so I would like to show you this game, at least one move from my opponent. He sacked the knight. I was like, son of a gun. So I have to take this rook. I have to take with the rook. And now my bishop is hanging. I didn't see that. I didn't even see it. So, but that was marked as great. It wasn't marked as a brilliancy. A few moves later, which I missed at the beginning. So here, a few moves before, I was supposed to take this pawn. But I found it later. Yeah, I was supposed to take it here, but I found it in this moment. So I'm sacking the knight, right? The king cannot take because now I get this discover attack and they lose the queen. So that cannot happen. They saw through that. They move the king. Okay, now you can take the rook. So I'm perfectly fine. So it was sweet, sweet revenge on that sacrifice with the knight. Okay, yeah, I can also sack pieces, no worries. What I can do better. So yeah, it was very sweet. Now let me show you more examples. So never push pawns in front of the king, right? My queen is aligned to this king. and so I'm pushing h3, and then my opponent goes g4. So one of the best moves in the position is to play d3. Now you can start defending with the two rooks. That was the whole idea. But now I can even sack pieces. So I sack the knight, which is like, wait, what? Yeah, if they take back, they didn't take back, but if they take back, this comes with check, and I'm winning. So they don't have to take back, but now I'm pushing this pawn. Yeah, and everything is winning. This bishop is also in this semi-open diagonal, and they resign a few moves later. Oh, there actually this is comes with check. Two queens on the board is unstoppable. There is something about this is like a funny looking position because this came from an English opening, but all my opponent's pieces are on this side of the board, right? If we split it in two, then the only piece on this position, a minor piece, is the knight on this side of the board. And then if we look at these four, these are on the same rank, but neither of them are defending these two pawns. So it's kind of just a really weird position. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sack the knight. If they take back, I can just take back, and I can never lose. I can never lose this game at least, right? I can also get this knight. That didn't happen in the game. They ignore it, but now, yeah, I'm just completely winning. This knight is still hanging. If they take my knight, I can take it, right? So it's not a problem. So that's what they did. They were like, okay, I'm gonna take this knight. So PS is still really difficult to play, and I can keep my knight hanging for a few moves. And yeah, it's not a huge deal. I actually missed this, but yeah, it's still winning. I just have a lot of piece activity. My rooks are looking great. My bishop is looking great. My knight has a lot of activity, and yeah, this is a terrible positional understanding from my opponent. So this is white to play, and I know that my knight is hanging, right? But I intuitively know there is an alignment of the king to my rook. So my opponent has a castle, is refusing to castle. And what if I just push e5? e5 challenging these two pawns. It doesn't look great. I'm gonna show you the follow-up according to the computer. Once the bishop takes, this is a discover check. Now they have to bring their queen, their other pieces, and defend. So, and yeah, this is losing for black. All right, I couldn't see that all the continuation. That was the continuation from the computer, but at least I know. Okay, there has to be something here. They don't do that. Instead, probably they didn't even see that my knight was hanging. I have no idea. And probably they saw, okay, this bishop now can take this pawn. So they defend with the rook. That was really strange to me, but I still break through the position. Now I can take this pawn. They take back, and I don't even have to move my knight. I can put my bishop here because now there is a pin. There is a remaining pin in this position. So now I can bring my other pieces, and I don't even have to move my bishop again, right? Because I'm attacking now this pawn. I'm attacking this really weak pawn. And yeah, my opponent, I think they resign a few moves later, but it doesn't really matter. Here, the point is, okay, anytime you can weaken the defenses of the king, the examples I have shown you before are about, okay, let's take these pawns. Let's eliminate the pawns that are protecting the king. So chess is about finding tactics, finding the alignment of the pieces. Sooner or later, the pieces will be aligned. And in this case, my opponent play b4, right? They play b4, and the computer is saying, this is a blunder. You're blundering a piece. It's not super clear why. So I have to exploit this position. The alignment of the pieces here is you have the rook and the queen aligned to my rook. So I go, okay, I can just go and give a check, sacrifice the bishop, and they cannot take back. I mean, they can take back, and I can just take the queen. So they were tricky. They saw that, and then they took the rook. They took my rook. I cannot take back, right? Because now I get into checkmate. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take back this pawn. I'm just gonna take this pawn and leave this queen hanging. It comes with check, so it's perfectly fine. everything is good. So here we're gonna look for the alignment of the pieces. I would like to show you the background moves, because here, okay, there was a trade of pieces. Yeah, they took my knight, and my bishop is not hanging or anything. But I guess one of the safest moves is to put the bishop here, where it's not gonna be very active. And I go, wait, I can advance my bishop and attack the queen. The rook, not the queen. So now they have to move this rook and undefend this pawn, right? So that was my whole idea. And now I was like, wait a second. What if I go bishop c5 and provoke this weakness? They're gonna have to play b6. They don't have to, right? They don't have to play b6. That would be a mistake. So can you find why this is a mistake? They are playing b6. The alignment of the pieces. The queen and the rook are on the same diagonal. And I have this potential bishop. So I was like, okay, my bishop is hanging. I guess a safe move is to retreat it. I don't have to. I can play rook e1. That's what I did. I played rook e1, and if they take my bishop, now this queen is going to be in trouble. And that's what they did. So yeah, and there is no way to save this rook. So yeah, this is completely winning. I was really proud of this, because it's 3 or 4 moves in advance, and all of this coming from provoking a weakness. They're gonna have to advance a pawn, and yeah, it looks like he's just losing. He's just losing for black. In this example, we also look for the alignment of the pieces, and it's not going to be super clear why or how. My opponent just played rook d8, which makes a lot of sense. It looks like he's protecting this pawn, but now we have tactics here. I can take this pawn, and if they take back, which is one of the best moves in the position, yeah, I can just recover this rook, and now I am up a pawn, right? Because this comes with tempo. I'm giving a check, and this rook is hanging. So yeah, it was great. One of the most beautiful ways to get a brilliant on chess.com is to sacrifice a piece, and I think you should sacrifice a piece when you're getting a clear advantage, right? Or you're getting the initiative. In this case, I clearly see rook e6. So rook e6, after they take back with the bishop, now I'm kicking out this knight, but more importantly, I'm getting an outpost for my knight. So that was the whole plan. Okay, and now, strangely enough, they have to give back the piece. I don't know why, don't ask me why. So okay, now I can get my outpost, keep pushing this pawn. Once they defend with the rook, I can also fork the 2 pieces. The computer is saying, okay, no, this is a mistake. But it doesn't really matter, because I have a lot of activity now. So yeah, my opponent is a little bit desperate to give a checkmate, but there is nothing in the position, and now I am up a piece. So yeah, this is still completely winning for white. Sometimes you know what your opponent is going to do based on his playing style, and I kind of had an intuition of what my opponent was going to do. So in this case, I decide to take this knight, which is really annoying. So I take this knight with the rook, and it's a beautiful outpost. I also want to put my king here, and it's gonna be really hard to attack it, right? Okay, they're gonna have the queen, but how else do you attack it? I don't see anything immediate. So now after they take, you have to take back with the pawn, but they took back with the rook. I sort of knew they took little time to think, and he was trading all pieces. My opponent was trading all pieces, so I was like, okay, this is great. Now I can take back with the queen, and I can fork the 2 pieces, the king and the queen, and yeah, this is completely winning. So yeah, there's no way to really salvage this game with perfect play. As I was making this video, I took a pause to play a quick game. It was a 5-minute game, no increment. And now, can you find the brilliant move in this position? My knight is hanging, but you can ignore it. You can completely ignore. Just look at this position. These 2 pawns are hanging. I guess the human move is just to take, but I ignore it, and I play rook d2. This is a brilliant move, because now according to this computer, the follow-up is okay. Now you give a check, and yeah, this is completely lost, right? There is no this rook is stuck, and I have an advantage, a slight advantage. I didn't see the continuation, to be honest. I was under pressure, 29 seconds to think, but I ended up winning this game on time. So it was all good. Here I'm just defending, but I have 11 seconds versus 1. So yeah, it's perfect. There is times where the absolute best move in the position is to give up a piece, stopping a pass pawn or stopping an advanced pawn. So in this position I'm playing black, and I figured that if I don't take, then I will have a hard time stopping this pawn from promoting. I guess I can reroute the bishop, but I also have a counter threat. I have a lot of counterplay advancing the h pawn. Now I give up the bishop. So, but I'm also creating a pass pawn on my own, right? On this side of the board. And the king cannot protect everything. So after a few moves, my opponent is going to resign, because there is also too many weaknesses to cover. I have these 3 pawns. Here I'm hitting the bishop, and I am on time to come back and protect this file and this square, and the pawn can never promote. So yeah, I ended up winning this game. Exactly the same thing here. I'm playing white, and I have a pass pawn. I can create a pass pawn. I don't have a pass pawn just yet, and this one is rolling off the board. I have to stop it. So it was a no-brainer. This was a mistake, because now I can fork the king and the pawn, and it's a no-brainer. I have to take the pawn. I cannot allow this to advance any further. So yeah, and now I can create this pass pawn. I take it, and yeah, I don't let the king enter any of these 3 squares, and yes, this is completely lost for black. What to do when you are the victim of a brilliant move? You don't know that it's a brilliant move, but you know there has to be something, because the opponent is sacrificing a piece. Is he sacrificing for no reason? Was it a misclick? What is happening? So I would recommend first understand the move, why this opponent is making this move. So in this position I'm playing white, and my opponent play knight f3. I was like, wait a second, why is this? I don't understand it. Because if I take, I'm just winning, right? No, because now he can sack this bishop, and if I take, I am getting crushed. I'm getting crushed on this side of the board, and yeah, it's just completely losing for me. So I go, okay, let's just play cool, calm, and collected, and ignore this. So sometimes you have to ignore an attack to be able to, yeah, just to continue the game. So I completely ignore it. I get out of the check, and probably you're also getting into the mind of the opponent, right? The next move was a blunder. Next move, he doesn't know how to continue this game. He probably figured that he can give a check here, and there is this alignment of the pieces. But yeah, there's nothing in the position. I mean, not clear, at least, right? There is nothing super clear. So he gave up the pawn, and now he doesn't have any available checks. So yeah, okay, he takes this knight. I continue to ignore it. Now I figure, okay, I'm threatening to checkmate in this position, and the next move I sack my bishop, right? Because now I have so many potential checks and checkmates in this position. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna take the rook, because I'm going to win material. Yeah, this is completely winning for me, because the continuation is okay. He's giving a check, but I get out of the way, and there is nothing for him. He can also give a check here, but I can just take the knight, and he can even take my rook, but I don't really mind about that. So okay, I take my he takes here, he takes my rook, but I continue to threat checkmate here and here. So yeah, a few moves later, he didn't go for that line. Oh, it was checkmate. So yeah, whenever you are seeing something like this, I would recommend, okay, let's understand, why is this happening? Why is he threatening? Yeah, because he has all the pieces aligned. He has the bishop. He also has this alignment to the queen. The queen is coming. all of these pawns are coming. So I absolutely cannot take. I mean, the computer is saying, yeah, the best move in the position is to take, but I don't want to do that. I'm human. I cannot calculate like the computer. So let's just play solid here and keep the game going. I would like to show you this one. I didn't know how to classify it, but it's too good not to show it. So in this position, I take this knight. And I take this knight because I want to get my knight over here on d5. And I kind of saw this sequence of moves because now, okay, he has to take back. He takes back with the bishop, which is completely fine. And I also have this fork. So now I'm forking the queen and the bishop. And he cannot take, right? If he takes back, also he has to move the queen. He's been hit. If he takes back here with the queen, now this will be check and the queen is hanging. So my opponent saw that. My opponent saw that continuation. So he moved queen d7. And now I can take this, I can take with check. And I can get my knight out of the way. But yeah, it was very easy for me to play because now I can trade this bishop. And yes, everything is completely winning. Okay guys, I hope you like this one. Please comment, like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, probably you will like this one. See you in the next